Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys. He's Gage, and we're back. We took a week off last week. Kind of getting ourselves ready for the off season, I guess. We missed football already. Gage, how we doing, man?
Hey, doing good. I agree with you. Missing football already, but that was kind of like our, like you could call it All-Star break. It was our little bye week from doing this, and kind of had to take in an Eagles win in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. You were definitely not pulling for the Eagles in that one, but man, they absolutely dominated Kansas City in that game.
Oh yeah.
Just turns out all you have to do to beat Mahomes is have four guys rushing, and that's it. No blitz needed. I mean,
Yeah.
the Eagles just no pressure at all. Just four guys rushing, and he had no time to do anything back there.
No time at all the pressure in his face. And it's not like the Eagles, on offense at least, were doing what they normally do. Saquon didn't have a big game. He had like
No,
25 rushing attempts, didn't crack 100 yards. It was Jalen Hurts and his legs that was doing everything, and his arm. That was one of the better passing performances, probably of Hurts' career, let alone the season. But yeah, a solid defensive line apparently is all you need to be able to win because Hurts not I know I just praised him, but not that good of a quarterback. Didn't I mean he had what 18 passing touchdowns this season? It's like that's usually not going to get you far unless you have a defense like this.
we just got to get the chains off of him. Is all it was. He was tied up all year long, and once they release the chains, that's what he's capable of. No, but I mean Saquon really get his longest run was what maybe 10 yards the whole game.
Something
Like
like that, yeah.
And like it seemed like every time he touched the ball, it's like 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards. Like he couldn't break free for nothing. So it wasn't like Saquon was out there running all over him. Chiefs defense didn't play bad. I thought that they played pretty decent for the most part. But on that other side, Kansas City just couldn't hold on to the ball at all. I mean, it was like three and out, 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 interception. And it's like, man, they had the perfect game plan for Kansas City, and like I said, who knew? It's all you needed, just a defensive line.
Yeah, and you said interception. How about a pick six for the birthday boy, Cooper DeJean?
Yeah,
Like, Todd, could you ask for anything better on your birthday? Like, don't get me gifts, don't get me money. I want a pick six in the Super Bowl on the birthday, not birthday weekend, but birthday.
yeah, it was him and Saquon's birthday, and he obviously had the better game for the birthday between the birthday boys. Anytime you get a touchdown in the Super Bowl, that's pretty big. Saquon didn't even get a touchdown, did he?
No,
Yeah.
AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, I think, but not Saquon.
Yeah. So out of the two birthday boys, who'd have thought the rookie defensive back would have got one? But yeah, Cooper DeJean coming in. Happy, was it 22nd birthday?
Something like that, yeah.
This guy's your age out here getting touchdowns in the Super Bowl, man.
I know. I'm like, man, I am doing something wrong. So like, wow.
And then, Hurts, of course, named the MVP, which is, he played great. I mean, he deserved it that game. Maybe split. I may have been like, can we just split it between the defensive line right here? Because they probably earned it more than anybody else.
Yeah, that it was hard to decide like who should have been MVP for that. I mean, you could have had Cooper DeJean with the pick six. You could have had anyone from the defensive line. You could have had Jalen Hurts. You could have had maybe even AJ Brown, leading receiver, I believe, or Devonta was. I forget which one. But either one of them, it could have gone to a lot of people.
Yeah, but you can't fault him for giving it to Jalen Hurts. He did play great. Good game for him, everything. Philly wins, and yeah. What did you think about the halftime show? A lot of people was talking about it.
Yeah, it's sad. It's super sad. Not that I wanted the three-peat, but I just hate Philly so much. And it's like, God. And then I guess afterwards, down here in Pittsburgh, they were all celebrating. I don't know if Pittsburgh just really loves Kenny Pickett like that or what, because they were out in the streets, they were partying, they were climbing light poles. I'm like, you guys are crazy and ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah. Like you said, the big rivalry there, like in state, that'd be like if the Browns won the Super Bowl, and then like Bengals fans would be like, "Yes, let's celebrate. Let's burn couches over here. The Browns have won the Super Bowl." Yeah, I don't know. No. Well, Travis Kelce. I mean, I didn't see it, but I don't think he got down on one knee and proposed. I don't think so. Did you bet on that? Did you have a bet on that one?
No, I didn't actually do that, thankfully. I mean, not like any of the other Travis Kelce bets hit, so it wouldn't have been any different. But I can't blame them for not proposing after a loss. But I guarantee if they would have won, it absolutely would have happened.
Yeah, and is this the last game that we've seen Travis Kelce play? I don't know.
There was a thing out earlier today that he's trending towards returning, but I know they gave him like a date in mid-March, I think it was, to make his decision. So, I don't know. I don't think it's the last time we see Kelce, though. I think he'll be back.
Yeah, I think he'll be back too. And I don't know. If I was him, I mean, he's making all kinds of money off of advertisements and his podcast and all that. I may just be like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to take these hits every Sunday. Why do that? Jason's having fun over there.
Oh, yeah. He's absolutely having fun. But I think Kelce just loves the game too much. And who wants to go out on a loss? Like, yeah, you have your podcast, but you're one of the vets on that team to where come, training camp, OTA, stuff like that, you're not going to have to work nearly as hard as what the other guys are going to have to do. And you're going to get a pass because of who you are, because of what you can do, and because Andy Reid really likes you.
Speaking of, somebody who doesn't need to go to workouts or doesn't think he has to go to workouts and doing podcasts and things like this, the New York Jets, they decided not to bring back Aaron Rodgers because of they want him to make sure he shows up to off-season training programs and not do the Pat McAfee show anymore. And Aaron Rodgers says, no can do for me for that. What do we think about Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I laughed, and I was like, yeah, it sounds about very Jetty. It sounds very Aaron Rodgers-y. To try and stop someone from going on to a podcast once a week is kind of dumb, in my opinion. But I also then saw that Pittsburgh is projected then to get Aaron Rodgers, and I don't want that. So I very conflicted on this because I'm sick and tired of signing guys for 1 year and then having to worry about quarterback the following season because it doesn't work out, hasn't worked out, and we need someone who isn't potentially going to snap his ACL on the first drive of the game.
Yeah, he's going to play again, and that's one of the destinations. Tennessee, they were talking about, Pittsburgh. If I'm Tennessee, okay, why not? Whatever. We don't have anything anyway. Got the, number one pick? They got the number one pick, don't they?
Yep.
Got the number one pick. Maybe you draft Cam Ward. Maybe you draft Shadur, whatever. Then you give Aaron Rodgers, hey, here you go. You can come in for 1 year. You live in Nashville. If I'm Pittsburgh, though, I wouldn't do this if I was Pittsburgh. Why would you do that? You just tried this experiment with Russell Wilson this past year. I mean, he had a few games, but is that something you really want to do as an aging quarterback to come in and try to lead the offense? Once again, then here you are looking for a quarterback again next year? I don't know.
I mean, for Aaron Rodgers' sake, he might want to Because if Arthur Smith's going to be there, it's going to be a run-first offense. He's not going to take, hopefully, nearly as many hits, so maybe he wants to do that. But I would rather you re-sign Justin, go out. I mean, you already have Skylar Thompson on your roster, so maybe he's your backup. Maybe you go out and sign some other no-name guy to be your backup. Let Justin have the reins to the team. He scored 10 total touchdowns in his what? He went 4-2, I think it was. So
Yep.
10 total touchdowns, 6 games, 1 interception. I think he had maybe like 5 fumbles, but didn't lose them all. And that offense looked incredible. And then you have Russ come in. Russ does good against Washington. Russ does good in the first game against Cincinnati, and then dies. I don't know what happened, but it was awful. And that's even saying that about, this guy was a Pro Bowl quarterback this year. Not that that means anything anymore, but still. Like, Russ isn't coming back. I do not see a world where they sign him back. Maybe he goes back to Seattle. Maybe he goes to the Raiders to join Pete Carroll. Maybe he goes to the Giants or something like that. Maybe the Jets. Maybe we swap old guy quarterbacks. I don't really know, but I just want Justin to have the reins to this team.
Yeah, if I was a Pittsburgh fan, that's who I would want quarterback in my team next year. Don't bring in old man Rodgers. Russell experience didn't work. Let's just have Fields come in and take over. Like you said, starting off pretty good. Why not go ahead and let him have the full season under his belt? And then, hopefully he plays better than Russ did and go from there. But I would not bring Aaron Rodgers in.
No, unless he was willing to be the veteran backup.
He's not.
Then okay. No, Russ, not Rodgers, not even Matthew Stafford, who they've been linked to. They all want to be starters.
Yep.
So it's like, why? Like, I think Fields was happy to be on the team last year when he was playing. He looked great. He looked all smiles. Even in the losses, he was happy. You could see that. He's been posting pictures on Instagram in the Steelers uniform. He wants to be there, but he also wants to start. Why not let the young guy go instead of having these one-year quarterbacks? One-year quarterback. It feels like the Pirates in just, the first base situation. We're going to sign an old guy, and, he's going to be here for 1 year, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there next season.
Yeah, you want to have something long-term. You're going to turn into the Indianapolis Colts if you keep doing that. Let's bring in a quarterback for 1 year, and then let's get another one that's about to retire, and then let's get another one that's about to retire, and then let's draft somebody, and then bring in another guy that's about to retire. And then it's like, you got to have some sort of stability there at the quarterback position for sure. So, but yeah, that's he's not going to want to come in and be the veteran backup. That's for sure. That's not Aaron Rodgers. If he's playing, he's going to want to get a starting job somewhere. So, yeah,
and there's plenty of places that he can go to get that. Like I mentioned, Raiders, Giants. Go back to the Jets. That ain't happening, but go back there. Maybe do you go back to Green Bay and say, Jordan Love, you had this for a little bit. It's my team now. Devontae Adams, come back with me or something. Like, there are so many other teams that need a quarterback and have no option really than to go get the old man, whether it be Rodgers, Stafford, or Wilson.
What I want to see happen more than anything on this right here, I want Aaron Rodgers to go to Minnesota to complete the Brett Favre cycle. Start with Green Bay. I know Favre started in Atlanta, but Green Bay quarterback for many years, goes to New York, finishes his career in Minnesota. Let's make it happen. They're not committed to Sam Darnold. J.J. McCarthy's still not healthy. Why not bring Rodgers in and complete the Brett Favre cycle? Let's go.
Oh, man. That would be funny. Or does Chicago do something really funny and say, you know what, we got Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, you weren't exactly the best. Aaron Rodgers, why don't you come in and teach this kid a thing or two for a year?
Yeah, and, Aaron Rodgers has always said that he owns the Chicago Bears, and he did when he played for Green Bay. He tells the crowd, your whole life I've owned you. And, all of a sudden they bring him in for the quarterback. Oh, man, that would be great.
And if he did go to Minnesota, Bears fans would be having all these flashbacks and be crying in the corner every night during the NFL season. It would be funny. It would be hilarious.
It would be. It'd be interesting to see. He's going to play next year, obviously. I mean, he's talking about it already too much for him to hang it up, and he just doesn't sound like a guy who's ready to retire. Unfortunately for everybody else.
No, he does not. But talking about other guys, so I know Steelers are projected to land him. They've in the last 365 days, they were projected to land Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Debo Samuel, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams. Who else? There's a couple other guys too that I had on my list. How many of them actually came to Pittsburgh? None. None of them. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is just all talk right now, and I am not getting excited or frustrated at anything until it actually happens.
Yeah, so are you kind of surprised by the Matthew Stafford trade rumors going on in LA there?
I am, and a lot of it is like a package thing for Stafford and Cup. I'm like that.
I was just going to say
don't know what a team
Stafford
would
and his
have to give
wife,
up.
but yeah.
Well, that too. All right, we have a trio package deal here, but I don't know what a team would have to give up to get both of the guys, and I don't know what the contract's looking like. I don't know anything. Would they want an extension? I don't know, but a team would. Maybe the Patriots. They have, I think, over 100 million in cap space for this coming season. But you got Drake May there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got Drake May there. Do you want to already give up on Drake, or do you want to go right to Stafford? I don't know.
Pittsburgh would probably be a perfect landing spot for him.
No. I think currently there's like a little over 50 million in cap space for Pittsburgh. So they have way more needs. I mean, yeah, a quarterback is one, but if you re-sign Justin, say 2-year, I don't know, 20 million, 18 million, something like that, you're set then for a couple seasons at least. Go out, you need another corner, you need someone in the middle of your defensive line, and you need another receiver. Those should be your top priorities right now. And maybe you get a lot of them in the draft. Maybe you go D-tackle in the first round, find a late round receiver, maybe a corner. Maybe you get Cam Scatabo, who I really want them to get to help out at running back. I don't know, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered before next season.
So Pittsburgh does have a question at quarterback. My team does not have a question at quarterback, but there are several questions at other positions and a couple of key positions for my team. T. Higgins is coming up on being a free agent in March. Jamar Chase coming into his 5th-year option. And Trey Hendrickson also going to be a free agent. I don't know. Those 3 guys are pretty decent players. You know, we're just talking about the Triple Crown winner, the NFL sack leader this past year, and T. Higgins, you know, just a regular old number 2 wide receiver for the AFC North team. They got to figure out what they're going to do. Reports are that they're probably going to franchise tag T once again, which is a $26 million hit this year for him. And then they're going to work on a long-term deal. I think that's what they talked about last year. The price just keeps going up. Last year it was $21 million for T. Now it's $26 in just 1 year. Plus, Jamar said he wants to break the free agency, was it cap? He wants to set a new cap for it, I think it was, is what he was. Anyways, wants to obliterate it out. Something like that. Some sort of language was used there. Probably asking for about $40 million a year for him. And then Trey Hendrickson, the sack leader, you know, he's going to want his money too. They're going to try to sign all of them is what they're saying. But I know how the Bengals are. I know how cheap they can be. Burrow said he's willing to restructure and use that into a signing bonus that he's for his contract, which would be great. Salary cap's going to go up in 2026 to 277 to 281 million. It's plenty of space there to make some of these deals happen. The Bengals just have to make them happen.
excuse me. And the problem is that the offense wasn't really the problem this season. It was the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to invest all this money into your offense and just be like, you know what? If we can put up 50 points a game, defense, you only allow 49. All right, we're good. Like I don't. That's tough.
The Bengals' problem is they've relied heavily on the draft in defense the last few years, and a lot of those guys haven't really panned out. And that's where they've missed on a lot of them. And if you miss several guys in the draft over several years, it's going to eventually catch up to you. I don't think it was all Lou Anarumo in the scheme because, I mean, he did pretty good before this past season with what he had. So it's the players, it's the development on that defensive side of the ball. And I'm with you. I don't know what you do in that situation because you want to keep those offensive pieces together because that's a dynamic offense for sure. But on the other side, you're going to have to score 50, in some games. I mean, they scored 38 in several games this year and lost those games. They scored 40 in some games and lost because of their defense. So I don't know what you do here, but you have to sign these guys, though.
And speaking from experience, that as a Steelers fan that dealt with a great offense for years and a pretty trash defense for a while, you can't pour all this money into your offense and expect to, win the division, expect to win a playoff game, expect to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, we had Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, and they didn't even go to a Super Bowl together. So that's like, you got these great pieces to your offense. You got high school players on your defense. It's not going to go well. And then you turn around, Big Ben gets hurt, retires. Then the defense is really good and the offense sucks. So it's like, how do you balance equal distribution of goodness between your offense, your defense, and let's not forget special teams.
This kind of reminds me of the Reds back in the about a decade ago. One year they would have a really good offense. Next year they'd have a really good offense, no pitching. Then all of a sudden, you got Johnny Cueto as your ace, and you've got several guys over there that are top notch starting pitchers, and then the offense is kind of lacking, and it's like, can we get this together at the same time here, please? We can't have one without the other. I mean, we can't have either. What's going
on? It's tough. I would not want to be a GM or a head coach for any of these sports teams because, like we talked about, how do you manage? Oh yeah, I'm going to sign Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to these ginormous deals. Jamar Chase, top 3 receiver in the league. T. Higgins, top 3. Number 2 receiver in the league, right up there with Devonta Smith and Puka Nacua.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how do I do that and then say, sorry, Trey, we know you led the team in sacks and we're one of the only, if not the only good piece on defense this year, but bye, see you later. It's hard to do. And I don't know. Hopefully you hope that the player is willing to take a discount or willing to be like, give me the Ohtani deal or something like that.
That's what I'm hoping. They restructure Burrow's deal and they pay him in some bonuses or something like that. Some way around it to where they can fit everything underneath the cap. But Joey was asking me, he was like, what would you do if you were the Bengals? Like, how would you fix their problem on defense, where they don't have any defensive players? He's like, if you sign these other guys, you can't go out and sign these big key free agents to come in. And I was like, no. I said, you couldn't. I said, but what you do, and it's just a short-term thing. So, I mean, you're going to have to develop some draft picks. You're going to have to use the draft, but you're going to have to sign these kind of middle-aged veterans to come in on one-year deals and hope that most of them pan out on defense. Now, you're going to have, I mean, it's going to be, Band-Aid work there for a little bit. You're just piecing these guys together for a little bit and then try to build through the draft. Have your backups come in through the draft, learn from these guys that's in front of them, and do that for a few years until you get a defense built up there. That's the only way I could see it going for the Bengals and improving it at least. If you're wanting to pay your guys on the offensive end.
Yeah, the only problem I see with that is a lot of like the older middle-aged vets that are worth bringing in are still going to request, 14, 15 million.
Yeah.
And I look prime example Bobby Wagner. I don't know if he's a free agent or if he still has another year in Washington. But if he was a free agent, he would probably want is somewhere in the 13 to 16 million dollar a season range just because of how good he is even for being older.
Right. And you may not be able to get a Bobby Warner or Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner. I was meant to say Fred Warner, not some stuff. But you may not be able to get a caliber of that. You may be like a step down from that. Like you've got Logan Wilson over there. You might have to get somebody like that at every position where he's pretty good at times. And other times, but I mean he'll be serviceable better than what you had before. And if you can get these guys in and develop them, maybe you try to go around about $10 million a year on some of these defensive players.
And you just have to hope that people are willing to do that. Maybe the player and the agent will be like, you know what? This team has a really good shot at competing to win the division, making the playoffs and going on a little bit of a run. We'll take a little bit of a break to, have that chance to go into the playoffs, win a game, make it to the Super Bowl, etc.
Yeah, and one player for the Bengals who doesn't want to be with the Bengals anymore, Jermaine Pratt, linebacker, requests a trade. No surprise. One of his landing spots is one of his rumored landing spots would be Indianapolis Colts, where Lou Anarumo went. They were pretty close, so I get it. Jermaine Pratt had a pretty big moment as a Bengal back when he got that interception to get the Raiders to win their first playoff game in 30 years. So thank him for that. But other than that, I mean, he wasn't that great the last couple of years.
Man, it's insane because like Jermaine Pratt, I thought was going to be very good. Logan Wilson was very good last year, and it kind of declined this year. So you mentioned about like signing these vets. You have to hope that they perform. Like Wilson didn't perform this year. Jermaine Pratt, same thing. So you're taking a big risk on these middle-aged veterans and hoping that they're guys that want to teach the people that you bring in through the draft. They may be one of those people that's like, I'm playing for me. Screw you, kid. Like, why should I help you? I'm on a 1-year deal.
Be like bringing in Aaron Rodgers at quarterback for a 1-year deal. He's not going to help the guy behind him. He's going to be about him. But yeah, that's a lot to ask for people for 1-year deals and to help the guy behind them because you've got 1 year on this contract. After it's over. You got a rookie behind you. It's going to be taking that spot. You're going to be willing to help this guy, or are you going to be like, look, I'm looking for my next contract. This is just kind of a, last chance thing for me before I go off to my next venture. Who knows? But yeah, it's hard. It would be hard to be a GM these days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got all the greedy players and their agents that they want it centered around them. I thought that maybe winning a championship was more important to the players, but it's obvious that it's not. I mean, winning it's great. You get a nice little bonus for doing that. But if you're signing a $50 million a season contract, why should you care about winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah, you really don't at that point in time. You're just like, I'm getting paid either way. That's the way most of them seem to be. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting next few weeks to see what the Bengals exactly do with their 3-star wide receivers coming up, or 3-star free agents coming up. And the tagging season I think is open. Is it open now? I think it's open now, or is it next week?
I believe it's open now. If not, then it's definitely next week. But it's very close.
I think it's open now, and I think March 4th is maybe the deadline to tag somebody. So I expect T. Higgins to get tagged, and then they'll work on that long-term deal once again.
Working that long-term deal. Oh my God. Say the
Yeah,
same thing year after year after year, and it never comes true.
no, and the Bengals are notoriously cheap, so that is what makes me feel so much better. But what does make me feel pretty good? I'm not the biggest hockey fan in the world, but Saturday night, this Four Nations tournament thing, the All Star concept of the hockey, has got me intrigued. Um, they had the game the other night. The U.S. played Canada. They played the American national anthem. The Canadians booed the American national anthem.
Yep.
The game starts 1 second into it. Boom! We're throwing down. There's a fight on the rink. Then they start back. Boom! A second fight breaks out. 10 seconds later, after they play again, another fight breaks out. And I was like, this is just an all-star game. And it's awesome because they care. They're actually playing for something. They're wanting to win this thing. This is the best all-star game out of all of them there is right now. This Four Nations face-off, man. Right now, Canada is playing U.S. for the championship right now, and it's 2-2 going into the third period. But yeah, man, I've been fascinated by this. Like, who came up with this idea? Like, man,
I don't know. The only thing that really compares to this is the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
Because in both of the situations, the players want to win. They want to show off what they got, what they can do. Whereas if you look at like NBA All-Star Weekend, NFL All-Star Weekend, week, whatever you want to call that thing, even the MLB All-Star Game, they're not really trying. They don't want to risk getting hurt, which, okay, fair. I can respect that. But don't want to risk getting hurt, and really, what are you playing for? Whereas like World Baseball Classic, all the players from other countries want to try and get a contract with an MLB team, so they're going to show off. The people that are playing in the USA, maybe it's a kid that's 18, 19 years old that he wants the attention of some of these major league teams. You have the Four Nations game where it's like, if you're just like a casual hockey fan, you don't know the players that are on the ice. You might know like a Sidney Crosby. You might know a Jake Gensel, a Connor McDavid. But you don't know every single person. So you're trying to show off yourself to the fans and other players or GMs in other teams.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head right there. This is the closest thing to this would be the World Baseball Classic. But that's a tournament that happens before the season starts. That's a spring training tournament. This is middle of the season. They have been like, all right, we're going to give you guys 2 weeks off for the All-Star break. Everybody but the ones playing in these Four Nations, you get a 2-week break from the game. NBA, I think they give them like 5 days off in between games. MLB is usually 4 days off. 3 to 4 days. Sometimes it's just 3 days. And then, if you go the home run derby and then the All-Star break, you're right back in it. Not much of a break. And then, football's been a joke for the last little bit, especially the skills competition and then the flag football and all that. And it's like, nobody cares about this right here.
Especially at that point, it's the end of the season. The players that are in it aren't in the Super Bowl. So, why care?
Yeah, why care at that point in time? But this one right here, man, it's fascinating how they've got them all to care about it like this, and then they got fans, like casual fans, to be like, okay, hockey's doing something different over here. Let's check out and see what they've got going on. I don't know what you could do with these other sports to pick up their game to have a good all-star game like this right here. I don't think there's anything you can do with football. I just think that it's too far gone, too physical, to be doing in the middle of the season. And nobody wants to do it right for the Super Bowl. Nobody cares. And then the off season, I don't know what you do there for real in that one. The NBA, what they've done with the NBA All-Star break has become a joke as well. You got the skills competition, which if you watched it the other day, Chris Paul and Wemby got disqualified for trying to hack and just throw the balls at whatever just to get the time to like whatever, we don't care. And then you got the 3-point contest, which I mean it's the same thing all the time. It's a guy shooting a three, goes all the way around the world there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got the slam dunk contest, which it Mac McClung, I mean jumped over a car. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But the other three guys that's in there, it's like it's always just one guy that's decent at dunking, and it's like, eh. And then you go to Sunday, and you've got 4 teams. We play to 40, and when it's over, who gets the 40 wins. What is this? We playing pickup basketball out on the courtyards over here? What's going on? What is this turned into?
It was sad. It was sad to watch. It almost, you could actually say maybe worse than the NFL All-Star Weekend thing that they do. As playing the 40, like, I had no idea. Like, I'm just watching, like, the ESPN score updates and stuff, and then I was like, man, both the winning teams have a very similar score. This is very odd. And then I looked more into it. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense of why it was like that, but it doesn't make sense why it's a thing. So, I don't know. You said about, like, what can you do? I don't know if there's anything you can do. You look at NFL, if you were to do, I mean, you can't do a 4 nations thing because it's all American football.
Australians.
Australians, yeah. America versus Australia, 2 nations. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
It's punters versus quarterbacks. Let's go.
Yeah. But, like, even if you did it in the middle of the season, like how these other games are, the people that are in it are still going to be like, I don't want to get hurt. I still have the rest of the season to go. And if you expand the season an extra game in the regular season, you're really going to have no one that wants to do it at that point and wants to be physical when they don't have to be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Whitney said the NBA is pretty boring anyway. I guess she agrees with what Draymond Green said the other day about the NBA. He said, yeah, it's pretty boring. We just sit around, shoot threes, and don't really guard anybody. It's like, well, yeah, true. But, I mean, I like the idea of what they try to do where they try to get the inside the NBA guys to get a team together and try to bring some life to that. But the way they pulled it off was just, I mean, to 40 and a tournament style. I mean, they had 4 teams, but they could probably do 4 nations in the NBA.
It would probably be a little bit easier for them to do it, I would imagine. Yeah.
Even if you went USA versus international in the NBA, but still, I mean, I still don't think that would work a whole lot. I mean, nobody's going to care about that one game.
No, I agree. It's a tough watch. It really is, and it's tough to know what to do. Like, we're just sitting here spitballing. I can't think of anything exactly to fix it. And it's sad that this is the way that it's become.
Yeah, it is sad that it's become that way, but what's not sad is pitchers and catchers have reported this month, and we have baseball on the way. Gage, it's almost March, about to get some spring training games going here. How are we feeling about this upcoming baseball season? Are you excited for April and May like I am, and then to be done by June?
So, I am excited for baseball. However, I am not excited to watch Pirates baseball. Just a couple hours ago, they signed left-handed pitcher, great pitcher, and Andrew Heaney. Now, you might think, oh, what's wrong with Andrew Heaney? If you don't really know him. Let's see here, because I have this here. Last year, he went 5-14 with the Rangers. A 5.28 ERA, 159 Ks, and 160 innings, 1.25 WHIP. In his career, he is 51-62, a 4.45 ERA, and a 1.265 WHIP. I apparently am in the minority of Pirates fans that dislike this signing. Apparently, a lot of people really like it because it's a solid number 5 pitcher for a good amount of money. When you have good pitching, you got Skeens, you got Keller, you got Jared Jones, you got Bailey Falter, who you still have, and he wasn't horrible last year as number 4, and he was your only lefty at the time. You got Johan Oviedo coming back from Tommy John, I believe he had here, year and a half ago. You have Braxton Ashcraft down in the minors. You got Mike Burrows down in the minors. Why sign this guy? Oh, okay. Let me rephrase that. As Pirates management, why sign this guy? Because you're cheap. According to the fans, why sign this guy? Because we just don't care. Um, it it's very frustrating. Your best offensive signing so far is a toss up between Adam Frazier and Tommy Pham. And I really don't know what to make of either one of those, besides for good luck. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to Pirates baseball, but I'm looking forward to baseball in general, since it just started today.
Hey, it'll be fun for the first couple of months. I mean, this is our month to shine. These are the first 2 months is mine and your months to shine with our teams. Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds. We're going to be battling for first place that first couple of months, and then June's going to hit. But until then, man, I mean, it's going to be exciting, right? I mean, come on, you got Paul Skeens, we got Ellie De La Cruz, you know.
I'm happy to know that once every 4 to 6 game days that Pirates fans will have something happy to look forward to in Paul Skeens. Maybe every once in a while a Jared Jones happiness as well. But outside of that, oh, I'm so looking forward to Andrew Heaney being in our starting rotation. Oh.
Biggest off-season free agent signing of the year, right there. It's got to be. Um, so there was some news that I seen on here. ESPN and Major League Baseball are going to be done after the end of the 2025 season. They have been Sunday Night Baseball for years and years and years. Wonder where they're going to go from there.
That was going to be what I was going to say. I'm very curious. Are they going to go to Fox? Are they going to go to CBS? Are they going to go strictly MLB TV? Oh God, Netflix. Don't put that in their mind. We already got them on Apple TV, MLB TV, all the other TVs. I've lost track. Maybe Amazon Prime for all we know. Who knows?
Apple TV ticks me off when I see a game on Apple TV. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's 6:40 on a Friday night. Why is this not on Bally Sports or it's FanDuel Sports Network now? But why is this on Apple TV? FS1's not showing anything but drag racing. We can put the Reds on. There's no need for Apple TV to jump in on this. We don't need it. Hulu, Hulu's probably going to be Sunday Night Baseball for long. That'd be great.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the amount of games I saw last year that was Pirates and it felt like a lot of times the Twins on Apple TV. And I was like, oh, great. Another game I can't watch because I ain't paying for Apple TV. Screw that.
Yeah, I think the Reds were like 3 games last year they were on Apple TV. But it felt like 33 games because I'm like, are we serious right now? Like, what are we doing? It's Saturday afternoon. We really got to put it on Apple TV.
Yeah, it really felt like a majority of Pirates games last year were on Apple TV. It's like, man, they already suck. Why are you going to make people pay a subscription to watch them? Come on.
Yeah, nobody's wanting to pay to watch this right now. Just put it on the free thing right now, please. Put it on public access channel, whatever. Just don't put it on Apple TV.
Frankly, I don't even know if Pittsburgh wants to watch them on their local channels, so you could just not televise them and we may be happy.
So I'm just wondering, there's a lot of games that are on ESPN Plus. This membership with the MLB and ESPN, does that include the ESPN Plus too? Because that'd be a pretty big news right there if it was.
I mean, it's part of ESPN, so I would assume so. I don't know. We probably are not going to know that until closer to the end of the season. But It wouldn't surprise me if that also includes Plus.
I just feel like they're probably going to end up on one of these streaming services, and that's where we're going to get Sunday Night Baseball. Is it's going to be a Netflix thing, or Hulu, or um, Disney Plus. They're like, yeah, we own ESPN, but we're not going to use ESPN Plus. But you're going to have to get a Disney Plus subscription to watch Sunday Night Baseball, and then you can bundle it with ESPN Plus, which won't make any difference if you're a baseball fan because we're just going to show it on here. I just feel like it's going to be streaming.
It has to be. Like, not that it has to be, but that has to be where it's going. Just because that's what everything is now.
Yeah, Whitney says on here the Reds are turning around this year.
Hey, I've been seeing things. They're projected to win the division. You never know.
Well, I've seen where they've got the Cubs win the division, the Brewers win the division, the Reds finishing 4th place, and I'm like, oh, well, who they got 5th in that list? Oh. Look, it's time for the Cardinals to finish last, is what I'm saying. I mean, come on.
Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, I really don't care. Just not us.
Yeah. We've been in that basement too long. It's time to come up a little bit.
It feels like my roommate's a Red Sox fan, and he's talking about all these great playoff memories and stuff. I'm like, dude, it must be nice to be able to talk about playoff memories in your lifetime that you can remember. My greatest playoff memory is 2013 and the whole Cueto thing against the Reds. So that's about the only thing I can remember. I know they were there, I believe, 2015 or 16 as a wild card, got bounced out. So not really much memory there.
I remember that game. I remember the last time the Reds were in the playoffs, which was 2020, which I think everybody got in the playoffs that year, just about.
Except for us.
Just about. Half of the league got in, over half, 16 teams. But the Reds mustered up 0 runs and 1 hit in 2 games, or 2 hits, something like that, something ridiculous. So that's the last time the Reds were in the playoffs. So it's been a while. Alex Bregman, I mean, he's in Boston now, and obviously already Rafael Devers is like, I'm not moving. I'm playing third base. I'm like, oh, that's a good way to welcome in your new teammate.
Yeah. Just signed this guy, what was it, 3 years, 100+ million? No, I'm not moving. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. This is my spot right here. You're the new guy. Learn a different position. Wow. Man, go the outfield.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that whole thing. Do they keep Yoshida at DH? But
well, they also announced that Vlad is going to be a free agent after the year. Vladdy Jr. Hey, come on now.
Yeah. I am surprised that nothing for Pete Alonso has come out yet.
I thought he signed back with the Mets.
No contract talks, no nothing.
Oh, he hasn't.
I might have missed.
Maybe I missed. Maybe I dreamed it. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Oh no, he did here last week. Okay, never mind.
Okay, then I'm not going crazy.
2 years, $54 million, but yeah. I know what I'm talking about. I swear I do.
That is 1 year of what Jamar Chase wants for his deal. $54 million. What Pete Alonso's making in 2, Jamar wants in 1.
I guess one other thing for at least football-wise that I did forget to bring up. Right now on YouTube, there's a Packers fan who is streaming. It's he's going until he reaches either 1 million subscribers, which he's like 170,000 from, or $1 million for charity. Now, This charity is Fallen Patriots. It's college for their children. It's for children that have lost like a parent in any part of active duty, whether it be active, current, uh, after duty, anything like that. And all proceeds go to them. He's on, I don't even know what day. I think he started on Sunday and has raised almost $600,000. I think it's like 560 or something like that.
Nice.
Tom Grossi is the name of the channel, and it is amazing to watch a person just sit here for 6 days straight, just dude streaming, having guests on and stuff like that, while raising all this money.
Man, I couldn't imagine going that long and being like, hey, so it's 2-2, Canada and the United States in the third. How you guys doing out there? You know,
It's a yeah. It's amazing how much like he has guests usually like every hour during the day and stuff like that. He's had a couple news interviews, so it's keeping him very busy, and he has incentives as he goes along the way. Like the first one was no sleep until $100,000, but they got that so fast that it was 200,000.
mm-hmm.
And then I didn't watch it, but at like 500,000, I think it was. He did like the Hot Ones challenge. Um, Once he gets to 900,000, it's going to be no sleep until 1 million. So that's going to be interesting to see when that happens. There's a lot that's going into it that's making it a good production.
Does he have somebody else with him, or is it just him the whole
No,
time?
it's just him the whole time, unless he has like a guest on or something like that. But the guest is there for like half hour, 45 minutes, if that.
Wow, and it's just he's doing that the whole time, like 24 hours.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. He's getting up to like make food and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping on stream. It's
well, I like
it is something.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool cause. What he's doing it for and everything. That's pretty cool right there. But man, that's a long time to be on stream.
A million subscribers or $1 million. Like, I mean, we're not even a week in, and he's over halfway, almost 60% of the way. So it may not go on for as long as he thought it would, but it's gonna take a while.
That's a pretty cool concept right there for sure. That is. That's I didn't know where he was going with it when you was like, yeah, there's a Packers fan on here, and I was like, here you go, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, you know. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Cool thing right there.
Maybe we'll do a thing one day where it's just like we're streaming until we raise $100,000 for charity, and who knows how long we'll be here for. So
it's hard telling. I don't know, but yeah, man, that's I don't. You got anything else this week going on? I'm sitting here watching this hockey game right now, and it's 2-2. Just come on, USA, let's go.
I need like some fights to break out. Like, man,
you were being too nice in the championship game, right?
They really are. Like, the fight should have waited until the championship game. Don't do it in the first game. Like, gosh, come on now.
What that does though is that's like, all right, let's get some fights going on right now. Let's get some people in here for the championship game, and then when we get there, we'll just be good little boys. Like, come on, fight somebody.
Like, this is kind of boring. Come on, yeah, like drop the gloves or something.
You guys fight all the time. Why are you playing nice now?
Yeah, I got nothing else. We covered everything that I thought about. I think we have the combine coming up here soon, maybe next week.
I think so. We'll see who all's been tagged in the franchise tags next week. We should know most of them. I think the deadline is still the 4th, so we may have another week of that. But we're going to be turning into some more baseball here coming up. So we got some baseball coming up soon, and we'll be excited for a couple of months. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of NFL offseason news we'll talk about on here too. Maybe Pittsburgh will find a quarterback in this offseason. Maybe not. Maybe Matthew Stafford will be in the black and yellow next week. Probably not, but still, we'll see. All right, well, that'll do it for us then, and we'll catch you all next time.
Later.